Welcome everybody. Mountain View Freedom welcomes the Didsbury candidates. I'm very pleased to introduce Kelly Lorenz. He's from the PPC party. And as you know, we had an election, it feels like a year ago already, but it was just Monday. So I'm going to hand everything over to Kelly, and he's going to be our moderator. He's going to go through the forum and the format for today. So, and we are recording this.
Yep. We're good? Hi everybody, and welcome to this forum here for Didsbury. Just to let everybody know, so we're going to be going from 10 o'clock till about noon. We're running a little bit behind here. We're going to do an introduction of each of the attending candidates. We're going to do questions. To the candidates, so each candidate is going to have 60 seconds to answer their question, at which time the microphone will be shut off. At the end, we're going to try and do a few question and answers for the candidates, but of course that's dependent on the time. Do any of the candidates have material on the table? No? Not so far. Okay. So, just so you're aware, we are recording this event, and it'll be found at mountainviewfreedom.info. We will be doing another forum today in Carstairs at 2 o'clock at Integrity Ford, if you're interested in coming to that as well. We're going to start off with introducing the candidates. Can I have, oh Lord, Erhard? Come on up and introduce yourself. Did I say it right? Erhard, yeah. Erhard.
Morning, everyone. Mr. Chairman and fellow candidates and honored guests. I had written this in the third person, so I'm going to translate. The first person. Oh. Somehow or other, this mic cuts in and out, so am I not doing this right?
No, you're good.
Okay, thank you. My name's Erhard Pogamiller. Myself and my wife chose to move to Didsbury 4.5 years ago. Upon arrival to the community, I was approached by several citizens to run for mayor in the upcoming election at that time. In pondering this decision, I decided to run for council instead so that I could get a better perspective on the operations of the town of Didsbury. I won that election. With this position as councillor in the past 12 years of mayoral experience, that I decided to take up the challenge and run for mayor in this election. By not living here all my life, I do not feel that it hinders myself, but brings me to reveal a new vision to mitigate the problems. A leader's job is to look into the future, to see the community not as it is, but what it can become. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, I'm going to call upon Dorothy Moore, running for town councillor.
I suppose that's because I sat at the end of the row. So, hello everyone, and thank you for this opportunity. I'm Dorothy Moore, offering to serve you as town councillor for 4 more years. Didsbury has been my chosen community since 1977. Didsbury has been good to me and my family as we built homes, operated successful businesses, and served in many roles within the town. I've been licensed in real estate since 1982. I'm a qualified school teacher, but municipal government has been my focus since 1995, when Didsburyans first elected me to council. I've now served 7 years as councillor and 6 years as your mayor, as well as 10 years professionally advising and facilitating other Alberta and Saskatchewan municipalities for Civic Solutions, Inc. That covers the experience. Regarding expertise, I'm a statistician, do considerable background analysis regarding council decisions. I'm a school teacher with a master's degree in business and a full Alberta University course, that's Alberta government, in municipal economic development. If you choose to elect me, I'll serve you competently and respectfully, demonstrating principles of family values and fiscal responsibility, and work toward creating sustainable long-term growth and prosperity.
Thanks, Dorothy. Next, I'm going to call upon John to come up and introduce yourself.
Well, good morning. It's nice to see both of you here today. And I'm sure it'll pick up after things move on. It's really nice to see actual faces. This is something I've longed for with what's been going on. And I guess I misunderstood. I'm not going to tell you how wonderful I want to do as a counselor, that type of thing. I was informed that we should tell a bit about yourself. So I've written down some quick things that I'm happily married to my wife Gloria for over 25 years. I'm a former award-winning broadcaster with 10 years of experience in television, radio, and public relations. I co-owned a printing and publishing company during that same period. I have, being a successful inventor with 3 patents in the automotive, agriculture, and medical fields. I owned and operated 2 ultrasonic manufacturing companies with domestic exports and export as far away as Saudi Arabia. I was a CAO and owner of successfully researching the ultrasonic technology toward oil and separation recovery. I served 4 years on the locally on the Mountain View Water Services Commission, assuring sustainable potable water for our town. I've worked with both Conservative and Wild Rose parties over the years, both who have successfully elected their candidates. And as a side, hobby-wise and otherwise, I held a commercial pilot license for fixed wing and helicopters. No big deal, that's just my thing. Interests for me appear to be woodworking, electronics, and computer-aided ideas and various software products. So that's kind of about me. I'm looking forward to serving, which is one thing that people forget, is that the servant part of public servant. We operate at the pleasure of the people, not at the pleasure of the mayor or administration. So this is something you really have to consider, and please look at people not at how they look, necessarily what they say, but how they make you feel. And also you want to look at it as vetting all of the candidates before you and those that are not here to really determine if these people have the skills to do the job, and if they'll say the good things, as most politicians will, but in the end, will they do what they say they're going to do? So thank you for that.
Thanks, John. I couldn't agree with John more. If you're going to vote, look at everybody's platforms and vote on your values. How do they resonate most with yourself? Next, I'm going to call upon Dallas. Thanks, Dallas.
All right, I'm Dallas Lammerman. I'm a husband, I'm a father, and I'm a business owner in town. I moved to Didsbury almost 8 years ago when I married my wife, and into a multi-generational Didsbury family. We have 2 children, and one that I've buried in our cemetery. I love this town, and I want to see it succeed, and I want to see it flourish. A number of years ago, we began a new business venture to help other businesses in our town succeed, as we saw so many turnarounds and just kind of like a revolving door, and we wanted to see businesses have staying power. And over the last a year and a half, I guess, obviously there's been bigger problems than just marketing going on for businesses, and I think that the town can be a part of the solution to that. I think that I can be a part of that catalyst for that change and that help for families and businesses in this particularly difficult time, bringing some additional business sense to council. I guess that's enough about me. So I would be honored to have your vote on October 18th. Thank you.
Thank you. Next I'm going to call upon Fred. Go on.
Hello. I got 60 seconds to tell my whole thing and counting. Or this doesn't count. He's a technical break. Thank you. So, yeah. Hi. I'm just put in mind here. I'm going to just break off stride here. I once coached. I'm Fred Van Fleet. Live here in town since 2008. I once coached a junior soccer team, and we were just a bunch of odds and ends, but I knew on the first go around that we had some really, really good players who were unusually motivated. And I was still learning the rules of the soccer, but long story short, we went to the city championships in Thunder Bay, Ontario. That was a few years back, but I see people here that make me excited, that we've got a lot of potential in this town. So I'm a project manager and architectural designer by career. I'm supposed to be retired, but that didn't happen. The dreams just keep getting bigger and bigger. The background for any development and progress is your services in your municipality. And I've had some experience with those here in Didsbury, which has really motivated me to help to upgrade. Because if we want to be a thriving town, then we need to have a functional, active, enthusiastic administration, and who better but to help that happen is council. So I'm really prepared to throw my hat in here and to build a winning team. A lot of great players, and whether you put me in the seat or not, I will be equally motivated to continue on that venture. I got 4 kids, 11 grandkids, scattered about. Understand something about family pressures, the times we live in. We need some really wise statements from our politicians, even at a local level. We're told to stay in our lane, but our lane gets jammed up our nose all the time. So we want to have some wisdom on the ground here, and messages that come from the people get processed here and go up to Edmonton and Ottawa, simply by how we behave ourselves. So we're an organized community who knows what we think, we know what we want, and we're not ready for nonsense. So within the scope of fixing infrastructure and running services, we want to do that well, because that's the municipal mandate. And we don't intend to be pushed into advocating for somebody's theories about medicine and climate and whatnot. So we're a straight answer.
Thank you. I was going to, but thought I'd give you a little bit of extra time. You were on a roll. Next, I'm going to call upon David. Come on up and introduce yourself, please.
Good morning. My name is David Cunningham. I'm going to do more of an introduction because I'm sure my feelings and beliefs and proposals will be fleshed out here in the questions. So I'm married to the most wonderful girl in the world. I have 4 children, 2 boys, 2 girls, 2 golden retrievers, 2 cats, 2 hamsters, 2 fish. I even have a boat, 73 Cadillac Eldorados, so I'm following in the footsteps of Noah. I've lived in Didsbury since 2007 when I decided I wanted to raise my family in a small town. I grew up in cities and I thought it was time to try to do something different. And Didsbury, after some extensive searching, this is where we decided to settle down. I've been employed and contracted in the upstream oil and gas sector for 30 years in various roles, taking electrical engineering and honors physics at the University of Calgary. I'm currently Senior Lead Control Systems and Automation Engineer for an industry-leading oilfield services company. I'm a former board member of the Olds Chamber of Commerce, and back in the early 90s I brought about this concept of a community internet service. Now I don't know if ONET developed from that, but I think that may have been the seed. I'm also a director for the Red Deer Mountain View Lacombe Regional Association for the People's Party of Canada. I started to operate an IT consulting business before branching into automation. I've managed projects from small land-based systems to advanced ultra-deep water installations in the hundreds of millions of dollars. I've worked and lived around the world from Americas to Europe, Asia, Southeast Asia, and South America. So this gives me a unique worldview that I bring to the table. Interests, in addition to my family, I enjoy off-the-grid camping. I'm also a renegade DJ, producer, and live PA artist. My other passion is combining automation and music and producing state-of-the-art do-it-yourself Christmas and Halloween displays. You may have seen it last year. Kind of lit the, yeah, that was me. Yeah, I kind of lit up the town there for a while. If you saw your lights dimming, that's probably I was going. So I'm going to leave that. That's who I am. That's my introduction. My name is David Cunningham. Thank you.
Next, I'm going to call upon Baron. Hopefully I said that right. Thank you. Going to come up this way?
Good morning, and thank you for coming, folks, and thank you for the organizers. Just a few words about myself. My wife and I have moved to Didsbury in the fall of 2012, basically to be closer to our 2 girls. One lives in Didsbury, just around the corner from us, and her reason to come to Didsbury was her husband's a very enthusiastic volunteer fireman, and Didsbury has a very good fire department. We spent most of I spent most of my career in the cattle business in Manitoba. I had a very good partner who, a person of means, was able to do things for me that I probably couldn't have accomplished for myself. But when the time came that we had to move, and there was basically some health issues that we had to attend to, he made it possible for us to move, and the move went very, very quickly, and I have absolutely no regrets. What I really like about Didsbury is, I promised my wife I wouldn't say this, is that if I have to see a cow, I can find one really quick. However, things happened here which I'd never considered before. After a few jobs, I wasn't ready to retire when we came here. I ended up working for the Lions Club on the bus, and that's been one of the great, almost a calling. And if somebody would have told me 20 years ago I like driving seniors around, I would tell them they're crazy. But here we are, and if I wave to you from the bus, that's me. Anyway, I had served on council in Manitoba for a rural municipality. We had a really good time, but of course, when the move happened, I I was no longer a ratepayer, so that disqualifies you almost immediately. I had also served as the Secretary Fieldman of the Manitoba Hereford Association, which was probably the most political job I've ever had. And those of you out there who are familiar with the cattle business, you understand what I'm talking about. What I see for Didsbury is it's a great place to, like the logo says, a place to grow. We as a couple have certainly enjoyed our neighborhood. We enjoy the walking trails and so on. It's just we enjoy the sense of community and that sort of thing. And I would appreciate considering me for your candidate. Thank you.
Hey, you want to come down this way? Or yeah. It might be easier. Yeah, it's all good. Finally, I'm going to call upon Ethan to come and introduce himself.
Which one's the best mic? Oh, there we go. Thanks everybody else. Thanks for everybody for coming out here. Thanks to all the candidates, and thanks to the organizers for setting this up. It's awesome to see actually faces again. A little bit about me. I'm Ethan Williams. I've been here my whole life except for maybe 3 years. I went to school in BC for a little bit. I went to school at Olds College. That's where I got my diploma and my certificate in sports management and business. Then I went to Edmonton because I was offered a job to go work up there, and I have years and years of political experience and legislature experience. I like to know that I have at least one person in every contact and every ministry in the legislature. I like to call them and I like to bug them a lot. I want to keep this short and sweet. I hate when politicians talk because all they do is talk and no answers. But at the end of the day, I'm running because I want to see a youthful presence in the town. I have nothing against the current town council, but the youngest person is 50 years old. We have a young community here. I like to see the young voice there. And I think I'll be an excellent voice there. So thank you very much for having me out here.
Thanks, Ethan.